Hello everybody and welcome to episode 2 of Async with Education 405. My name is Dr. Christine Ho Younghusband and I am your host. Today is Thursday, June 22nd, 2023, and first I'd like to acknowledge that yesterday was National Indigenous Peoples Day, and I spent the day yesterday being at Clayton Today Park. I had a chance to see some of you at the park and enjoy some of the festivals and activities that were happening in the park. And I would encourage you during National Indigenous Heritage Month to go out to the park today, which is Thursday, June 22nd, to check out some of the activities that are happening today. It opens at 11 and closes at 8 p.m. tonight. So I would encourage you to do that, bring a friend, and enjoy the festivities and the art that's happening out at Clayton Today Memorial Park. I also not only am grateful to see some of you at the park yesterday, I think just more of a happenstance, but also see some of you on campus last week, and it's really great to see you all again, and I hope to reunite soon, which was originally planned on July 6th, so I just got an email, which you probably did too, with a schedule change for Block 4. And your afternoon class has now become a morning class, so I will send out a poll if we want to continue on with July 6th for our Education 405 gathering for a brunch afternoon at Terrence's house, or would we rather have it on July 4th, which is Tuesday, again in the afternoon as a brunch. So I will send out that doodle poll right after this video blog, and just to get your input on that as well. Anyway, I also want to say welcome back to Prince George. I know you all went to Barkerville with both cohorts, and I just want to say that you have opportunities to blog and reflect. You also came back from Shane Lake yesterday too, and had a chance to share with each other different ways of learning on and with the land. And so I want you to really think about Barkerville and Shane Lake, for example, and what it means to learn and teach on and with the land. And I really want you to sort of project into the future, into Education 491, your practicum, which is coming up, but also think about your values and your practices and what do you think is viable. And many of you have heard may have had the chance to take students outside during Education 490, and what did you enjoy about that? What would you do again, and what would you do differently next time? And so that's a great time to blog and reflect. So as you can see, I'm encouraging you to continue to find those moments to contribute to your portfolio and to really think about your values and thus your education philosophy as you approach your final practicum. The last thing I want to talk about today is your inquiry project, this ongoing inquiry through the spirals of inquiry. I sent a link last time, and I will probably send a link again to remind ourselves of the spirals. And so just to remind ourselves, so block 1, we spent time in Education 405 pretty much learning and getting familiar with our portfolios. And in block 2, we were introduced to the spirals of inquiry and really took some time, whether we be working at Harwin, or we were at Blackburn, or possibly in TTUCing, or being in classrooms, and your practicum, wondering, taking a scan, you were scanning, wondering, and having questions about teaching and learning and about you as a practitioner. And so in block 2, I asked you to create a guiding question to sort of think about throughout the rest of our program. And then in block 3, we had a chance to go into practicum again and for 490, and I wanted us to spend some more time sort of focusing and making a hunch to the question that we had. So I'm hoping that you have spent time creating that blog post and reflecting on maybe focusing your inquiry and probably what's the hunch, what's the drive behind this inquiry that you would like to focus on, and how would you like to possibly approach it. When we're in block 4, what I'm hoping that we're doing is spending some time in the learn part. What do you have to learn to sort of maybe address your inquiry? What do you need to learn in your classes? What are you learning now? What have you learned? And so take a moment to reflect and gather and think about what you need to learn to create a plan, which is an action plan, which we will partake in Education 491, which is the take action part. And then again, to conclude our inquiry at the end of the program is the check. And so after 491 practicum, we'll reflect on that as well. Okay, so big picture, what do you need to learn? Think about that, reflect on your land and place-based learning. And that is my 5 minutes for today, and I will see you next week.